We're the Utopia of Nerd News. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Adam.
And we have awesome news like we have all the time, every weekend, now on Sundays. It's great. Check it out right now.
And we will start off, as we always do, with the video games. The first one is, in Japan, Persona 4 Arena is also in an arcade version. I'm not sure if they came out with those in America, but I know the Japanese arcade versions have a major update coming, which will feature 2 new characters from Persona 3, being Junpei and Yukari, each with their own unique playstyles and updated models to have the age gap between 3 and 4. And this has led to a lot of, I guess, rumors of either sequel, which I've heard reported as a sequel, but more likely a large DLC which will have character balancing thrown in, and obviously the 2 new characters. So that's really cool. They desperately needed some new blood, I think, for that game. That was the only fighting game I've purchased new in this entire generation of games.
It's fun.
The next thing, video game developer Calypso has announced their next project to be released next year, being Tropica 5 for the Xbox 360 and the PC and the Mac. So that's cool. For those who don't know what that is, it's basically like a sim builder game. You get your island, you build up your island, and yeah, it's like a Sim City kind of. The next one, and this is kind of a big one, Batman Origins, which comes out in October, announced their collector's edition for the United States, Australia, and New Zealand. Last week they came out with the UK version.
Ooh.
This version comes with a Joker statue with LED lights, an 80-page art book, 2 pieces of evidence, which that's all it said, a Batman Wanted poster, schematics for the Batwing, an Anarchy logo, stencil, glow-in-the-dark map of Gotham, Wayne family photo, intel dossiers on all 8 assassins with Black Mask's contact thing that I guess he sent out to them to hunt down Batman. Additionally, a Batman skin based off the Detective Comics 27 from the 1949 comic book. A Deathstroke Challenge Pack, 2 Deathstroke skins. The North American version gets a feature-length disc showcasing the DC villains.
The list is still going.
Yes, it is. And the PS3 gets exclusively the Nightfall Pack exclusive content, which I think is like a DLC. And you can get all that for $120.
Do they get Gotham City or the Batcave with it as well?
They might as well. Well, they do get kind of Gotham City. They get a glow-in-the-dark map of Gotham City.
I want to know where those LED lights are on the Joker.
Probably his eyes. I don't know. I'd imagine they're like under.
Oh,
and they probably light them up like that. But if they were out of the eyes, that would be really cool.
That'd be really creepy.
Especially at nighttime.
No, that's like a weeping angel. You don't do it.
Don't blink. Our next bit of news, something I thought it's a smaller thing, but I think for what I like, it's pretty big. And that is BioWare has said, one of their people said in an interview that they wanted to be upfront well before the game came out, and said that Morgan will not be an in-party member.
Oh.
So you won't recruit her for Dragon Age Inquisition, but she will be a key pivotal character in the story, which makes sense because the overarching Dragon Age story involves her and her pregnant demon baby. Spoilers for Origins.
That doesn't surprise me, because, I mean, like, obviously she wouldn't be in your party, because you have to find her, I'm sure. Like, right. I guess there was that DLC where you went to search for her.
The Witch Hunt, yeah.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if I should spoil how that ended.
No spoilers for this one. But it doesn't surprise me that she wouldn't be in your party.
Right.
Like people who played, Dragon Age Origins should know this.
Right, and a lot of people were upset that there was nothing with her story in Dragon Age 2. In fact, that was one of the biggest complaints I saw. So I'm glad to see them trying to round all that in.
Yes.
Like you, I wasn't too surprised. I kind of assumed it would be that way, but yeah, that's cool, right?
Yeah, definitely cool.
The last little thing we're going to mention is a trailer that came out a couple days ago for The Witcher 3, which will be over the Fett family.
Or over us. Who knows?
Who knows? You'll have to pay attention to see.
Yes.
But what were your thoughts on this trailer?
Like I've said before, I've never played any of the Witcher games. I know. Shame on me. But it looks good. Like, when the trailer was first coming on, I was like, is that a real woman? Like, is that real life? And no, it's not. It's just really good graphics.
Really good CGI.
Amazing graphics, yeah.
Like, that's, like, better than most animated. That's like a Pixar film right there.
Yeah.
Like, it's top-notch stuff. And it's equally impressive because, for those who might not know some of the stuff behind The Witcher, the first one was kind of a smaller... I don't know if I would classify it as indie, but it might have been kind of on that borderline between indie and a larger budget game, a AAA. Not a AAA, but... and it really wasn't ever that popular or anything. They came out with The Witcher 2, they made it in $10 million, which is obscenely low. And it was an unbelievably good, like, beautiful game with a great story. And they made so much money off of it. It basically bumped CD Projekt Red into being from a small developer to one of the big forces in the RPG realm. And this game looks like they're throwing their budget that they earned from Witcher 2 right into it. And it looks awesome.
It does.
Very impressive stuff. Feel free to watch the trailer. It's well worth, like 2 minutes?
Yeah.
It's worth it. It's
so
even if you don't want to play the game, it's worth watching the trailer to see the graphics.
Yes.
Next, we'll move on to movies. Honestly, there wasn't a ton with movies this week, or at least that I thought was worth mentioning. But one of the things is they actually have gone back into Thor: The Dark World to reshoot a few scenes so that they can add more Loki into the movie. Which I'm cool with, because Loki's awesome. Go Tom Hiddleston. The next one, kind of in a post-aftershock of the Warner Brothers Legendary split. Mm-hmm. Even though Legendary is no longer part of the DC Superman projects, because they were a huge influence, obviously, in the Man of Steel movie, they had rights to be, like, contractual rights to be part of the Batman-Superman movie. Even though they're not doing it. So they could get their money. So Warner Brother had made a deal with them. So they basically did a trade. They got what was called a large or significant portion of Interstellar, which is Christopher Nolan's movie he's working on, in return for them letting Batman Superman go completely under their control.
Have fun, Warner Brother.
The next one, we finally have who Vin Diesel is playing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Who is it?
Do you know who it is?
No, I don't.
Would you like to know who it
Yes,
is?
I would.
Groot.
Oh, Groot!
Groot.
Oh, Groot!
That means
Groot.
Vin Diesel has one line to memorize, which is "I am Groot," because that's all he says.
Oh my gosh!
It's awesome. In fact, when asked about it, Vin Diesel said, "Yeah, I'm really busy with the Fast and the Furious and all my other movies I'm doing. He has another XXX.
Oh,
I'm
sure, yeah.
You know, he just had Riddick come out. He didn't have time to do a full 6-month full movie project. So when discussing this with Marvel, because there was a thing where they wanted to work together, they said, "Hey, we've got a character. You can come in. Won't take you too long to do. You can just squeeze it in between your stuff. That way, you can still be a part of it like you want." And the fans will be happy about it, and they got it all worked out. So he's just got really one line of dialogue, but he's got a cool character, and I can see his voice is deep enough to pull it off.
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly what I was going to say. He's got that deep voice that'll work. Oh my god.
For those who don't know Groot, either Sarah will pop up a picture, or I'll just tell you he's a giant tree alien.
Yeah.
And he's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I love Groot.
And in my last little bit of news I have for the day, for the week I should say, is Joel Edgerton. Do you know who that is?
That sounds familiar.
He was Tom in, what's it called? Great Gatsby.
Oh. Tom? Oh yes, Tom.
Yes, the racist.
I knew that.
The best character actor in that movie. Has joined Christian Bale in Ridley Scott's Exodus. He will be playing Ramses. And if you don't know what this project is, Ridley Scott is putting together a biblical movie based off Exodus, and I know Christian Bale is the lead character that he wanted, and he agreed. He's like, yeah, I want to work with Ridley Scott, who wouldn't? And they just signed Joel Edgerton to play the antagonist, as I said, Ramses. So that's it for my movie news. There's really nothing for TV either to mention, so now we're going to do anime stuff.
Yay, anime stuff! Ah, Groot. I love Groot. Anyway, let's move on to, anime stuff.
I am Groot!
Ah! Okay, so, we talked about Otakon last week, but we have more news. I have more news, because there was the Funimation panel that happened on Sunday that I didn't get, talk about, obviously, because we do the stuff Saturday and then we put it Sunday. So, anyways, so there's some awesome Funimation stuff that they got. So they acquired the rights to the following, and I'm gonna leave the best one to last. So they got Escaflowne movie, The Visions of Escaflowne, My Heim, My Zyme, oh something, My Zyme Zui. If
Please
I'm saying those
keep
wrong.
this to English.
If I'm saying those wrong, I'm sorry. But the best one, Outlaw Star.
What's happening with Outlaw Star?
Funimation acquired the rights for Outlaw Star so that they can put it on Blu-ray and DVD. I'm so excited.
I am. That's one of my favorite shows when I was a kid.
But
there's more.
There's more. The best they saved till last. But I think Outlaw Star's the best.
Outlaw Star's awesome.
But I haven't seen this next one. Oh. But I know it's a big one. Mm-hmm. I know you've seen it.
Oh,
I have some friends who've seen it. Funimation, at the end of their Otakon industrial panel, showed a video. And this video was of Cowboy Bebop. They acquired the rights for Cowboy Bebop.
Funimation doing work.
I know. So this will be the first time that this series will be available digitally and on Blu-ray in the US. And Funimation expects to release Cowboy Bebop in 2014.
That's extremely exciting. You need to watch it. It's got one of the best last episodes of any anime ever, if not the best.
It is on my to-watch list, as are many things.
And if you've never seen it, but you like Samurai Champloo, it's made by the exact same people in a very similar but slightly different style. But I'd say it's definitely similar. You can see the similarities. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit of a darkness to it. It's good stuff.
Yes. Alright, so moving on from there, we have Aniplex of America Incorporated. Now, if you're not quite sure what Aniplex of America is, they are a subsidiary of Aniplex Incorporated, which they have their headquarters in Tokyo, Japan. And Aniplex USA, or Aniplex of America, is in Santa Monica, California. So, they have launched DVD Blu-ray releases for Sword Art Online and Blue Exorcist, just to name a few that they have, put on Blu-ray and DVD. So, what happened with Aniplex of America Incorporated, you're asking? They announced at their panel at Otakon that they have acquired the new anime series Kill la Kill. Now, there was a little bit of a teaser trailer that we watched, and I will have it somewhere around here. Maybe the full screen. You never know.
It's like a treasure hunt.
It is. It's like a treasure hunt.
And if you find it, you get to watch a free video.
Pretend you're a pirate.
Yeah.
You're searching for that X. There's not really.
You're like Ferris from Final Fantasy V.
Yeah. I don't know who that is. But I will someday. Alright, so yes, they acquired the series Kill la Kill, and it is brought to you by the duo who did Gurren Lagann. Yeah. And it will stream online starting this fall, and details for a home video release will be given at a later date. So, it's a teaser trailer, there's not much really to talk about, but as for what you saw.
It had an interesting art style, where they kind of made it, I think, more of a defined, not like a realism anime or like an anime, but kind of like if you're using like a Photoshop editor and you use the sharpness and you it almost felt like that, you know?
Definitely.
That's what I thought about the art style. I mean, it's a teaser trailer, so you really don't get much for story or character, but you can get art style, and that's the thing.
Yes.
It looked pretty nice, though. I mean,
yeah, and I like the music too.
Right. It seemed interesting enough. It's a good enough teaser trailer to get you to want to watch the first episode.
Yes.
Which is perfect for what that is.
To pique your interest.
Right.
So, we talked a little bit about Aniplex of America and how they have done Blue Exorcist, so there's actually news about Blue Exorcist. Blue Exorcist English dubbed screening film opened in American theaters on Saturday. Aniplex of America released Blue Exorcist TV series on DVD, which was subtitled, and they're going to re-release it with dual audio. So they have an English dub going, Blu-ray and DVD, which will be July and September when those will come out. I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty sure it'll be next year because they just brought it out into American theaters. So obviously it wouldn't make sense because we were already past July and September's right around the corner. So next year is probably when that will be happening. Cool stuff if you're a Blue Exorcist fan. So we have another trailer that we looked at.
Oh, did we?
Quite interesting. If you are a fan of Pokemon, this may be something you're interested in. Because the Pokemon Company posted a promo video with a new key image and character info for Pocket Monsters The Origin TV anime special on Saturday. And it will premiere in Japan October 2nd at 7 p.m. So, what is Pocket Monsters The Origin, you ask? Well, it's like Pokemon, except they're using the original characters from the video game, like the first video game, with Ash being red, who he was in the video game, and Gary being green. That was their names in the video game.
Mm-hmm.
And it showed some Pokemon like Charizard and Blastoise.
Blastoise looked amazing.
Charmander. And just a lot of cool things. So that is going to be a thing happening. And it looks really cool. I mean, I love Pokemon. And I love, Ash and his Pokemon adventure. But this could be cool.
Right. In fact, they actually show Brock too.
Yes, they do.
They do, but
and
they
Professor
look
Oak.
Right. They do. I think Oak actually looks better than he does in the new anime. The others have just a different look because it's not their anime look; it's the look from the original games. Yep. But I think this is a really cool idea. It's also a good way for them to make a ton of free money because they can have 2 separate Pokemon series going on at a time. But it looked really cool. One of the things I'm interested in is if they decide to bring it over at some point to America, if they're going to make Green's name Blue, like they did with the video games. Because it originally, for those who might not know the origins of Pokemon, it was Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green in Japan.
Yes.
And then they remade them, and it was Blue instead of Green, and they brought that over to America. And that's why we had Red and Blue, not Red and Green. So I'm curious if they decide to bring it over, that if it's going to be blue, not green, That
would be interesting. And hopefully they do bring it over because the art style looks really good.
It looks really good. I can't wait to see my boy Scyther. Scyther's the best.
Yes. So that is...
Also, you won't have to worry about Team Rocket getting in every episode.
Oh my gosh.
And...
I love Team Rocket, but... They also talk about Giovanni, which has a whole different name in Japan, obviously. It's not Giovanni. It's like Sakachi or Sakaki or something like that.
If it's Sakaki, I'm getting serious .hack GU references in my mind, and I already hate you, Adelie.
Oh. So yes, that is what's happening with your anime news this weekend. Let's go ahead and move on to the manga and books part of this. So, manga. Soul Eater Not. Have you heard of it? I hope you have. If you have not heard of it, it is the parody to the Soul Eater manga. So there's Soul Eater Not, which is like the parody. It's really cool. But anyway, Soul Eater Not will continue. It was unveiled that it will continue in the Square Enix's Shonen Gangan magazine. And this was unveiled at the end of the final chapter in the Soul Eater manga magazine part of it. So that's a thing that Soul Eater Not will continue.
I'm just doing your hand gestures. It's cool. Keep going.
That Soul Eater will continue in the November series, the November issue of the magazine. Alright, so I know I said we had a lot of book news. Well, if you are a Dungeons and Dragons person, you're gonna love this, because there's 2 books coming out August 20th, and they are for you D&D peoples. So the first one we're going to talk about, it's called Dice and Men, which... Of Mice and Men. I hated that book. But it's called Of Dice and Men. And it is the story of Dungeons and Dragons, the people who play it, by David M. Ewalt. And there's the other one, which is called Murder in Baldur's Gate, Sundering Adventure 1. Now, I'm guessing that's a book that you use in your Dungeons and Dragons gameplay. I've never played it. So, that's a thing. Those 2 coming out August 20th. Check them out if you're into Dungeons and Dragons. And just something new that we really don't talk about, but it was in my book stuff. Something going on in the Star Trek world, kind of. Alright, so the 2014 Star Trek calendar is coming out August 20th. And the feature of it, it's Ships of the Line. So, if you're a Trekkie and you love calendars, this might be something you'd want to purchase. It's really random. That was in my book news. But
it's a thing.
It's a thing. I guess it could be called a book. It's a book of pictures and dates.
It's an art book, kind of? No, because it's got dates.
It's a calendar. Just as a side note, I know I don't usually do this because I like to wait until the books come out in the month, and I like them to be, just like right there, so that when you watch this, you'll know, oh my gosh, yeah, I've got to check that out because that's out now or that's coming out. But I saw this and I was like, I might not ever find this again because they like to mix and mash their book stuff. But you are going to love this.
Oh.
George R.R. Martin, what's he famous for?
Could it be a song that has fire and ice involved in it?
Yes. But not this one. This is a whole different one. Apart from his... Okay, so if you're not a George R.R. Martin follower or I'm not even going to say a fan because you've got to be a fan of this man. He writes the Game of Thrones book series. And he's coming out with a book that's about the Game of Thrones book series, but it's about a specific character. And it's coming out October 29th.
Is it a character that's super popular?
It's a character that you love.
That I love?
Yes.
Oh, is it Jorah Mormont?
No, but...
Is it Tywin Lannister?
Yes, it is.
Yes!
No, just kidding. It's his son. Tyrion.
Oh. I was going to ask Jamie. I was like, really? Why is there one on Jamie?
No, this book
I'll stab your back.
This book is called The Wit and the Wisdom of Tyrion Lannister. And it's coming out October 29th. And I just thought you'd find that interesting.
Should have been Tywin.
Maybe he'll come out with, like, the strategy and conquest of Tywin Lannister. That would be a good title, wouldn't it?
Sure.
Or how he came up with the song The Rains of Castamere.
Well, that would be the two
Yeah,
families. Sorry, Rob. You're still a good actor, Richard Madden.
Yes, you are.
You're just feeling a little bit lighter on your shoulders.
So yes, that is the end of my anime and book news. Some great stuff going on in the worlds of geekery and nerdiness.
Geekdom.
Oh, geekdom, my bad. So yeah.
Alright, so that was our video.
Yes.
Look forward over the coming week, my video review for Kick-Ass 2. She doesn't want to go with me because she's not cool enough.
I'm not a fan of Kick-Ass.
I might see Butler depending on my time and schedule, so I might have 2 movies.
And Paranoia might be a thing.
There's a lot of decent movies.
There are.
Kick-Ass 2 is the definitive one that I will see, though. And you can look forward to that one and potentially 2 others. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, and don't forget to look for that mystery box that's somewhere. Like, be that pirate and look for it, because it's a treasure hunt.
Yeah, Ferris.
Yeah. See you guys.